N.I.S.H.I.O. Sneaking out the window, stepping into the night, heading up the Mizunos, looking for the light. He lives up on N.I.S.H.I.O, high on the hill. Never been inside his house, looking for the thrill. Pedaling the bike, feeling free in the breeze. Suddenly a red light shining through the trees. It's the cops on patrol, screaming out on the horn. Stop right there! Like a warning is born, we on the bicycles. Thought we could escape, take a sharp turn, change the whole landscape. But the fear kicked in, so I pulled on the brake, thinking it's just a curfew, a minor mistake. Midnight pedaling, rolling through the dark. Red lights flashing like a predator shark. Just a curfew violation, nothing to fear. But the secret in my coat making everything weird. Thought we take the questions and continue the ride, but I forgot about the metal that I carried inside. Telescopic nunchucks extending like a rod. Watching Bruce Lee movies, thinking I was a god. Kept it for the self-defense, heavy in the hand. Now I'm facing real trouble, struggling to stand. They started the search, going through my attire, praying that the metal doesn't catch on the fire. But they pulled it right out, shining under the moon. My martial arts dream popping like a balloon. Thought I was facing a cell, crossing the line, but the cops just sighed, shaking heads at the crime. Midnight pedaling, rolling through the dark. Red lights flashing like a predator shark. Just a curfew violation, nothing to hide. But the metal nunchucks killed all of my pride. The only bowling alley, sitting in the hood. Starboard shining like a piece of Hollywood. Every school party ending up beside the lane. Throwing down his fist, bringing up the heavy pain. The class is routine for the N.I.S.H.I.O youth. Let me step to the mic and speak the heavy truth. We play a couple games trying to get a high score. Walking down the narrow stairs to the bottom floor. Heading down to Sue Hero for the barbecue meat. But before we get to chew, we suffer the defeat. The bowling balls here are ridiculously heavy, breaking down my fingers like a broken down Chevy. Gripping on the holes, feeling like my skin will tear. Swinging with the weight, throwing tension in the air. I never roll a strike, the gravity is too strong. Every single throw always going totally wrong. But the weight ain't the only thing making me mad. There's another element making the experience bad. Every time I touch the ball, a static electric spark zapping up my hand in the middle of the dark. It's totally unforgivable, the static on the skin. A painful little shock every time I try to win. We finish up the frames with our fingers looking red. Frustrated and defeated, feeling completely dead. Stepping in the N.I.S.H.I.O, clearing up the mind, leaving all the heavy bowling miseries behind us. See, I can equal spot, drilling up the beef and pork. Sitting at the table with the chopsticks and the fork. The smoke is rising up, the flavor in the air. Looking at the menu, sitting in the leather chair. You think the grilled meat is the highlight of the night? Let me tell you something, let me get the facts right. The greatest thing they serve ain't the sizzling steak. It's a different type of dish that the local chefs make. The udon noodle soup is the absolute peak. A yakiniku joint with the noodles that we see. Starboard gravity destroying all the hands. Suhara udon soup, the greatest in the land. The school after party, the N.I.S.H.I.O routine. The heaviest bowling ball that I have ever seen. back in the days when I was riding the rockabilly wave. Straight cats on the brain, the culture that I crave. Satoshi was a metalhead, a total metal fool, shredding on the guitar, breaking every rule. I was struggling with the 6 strings, my fingers moving slow. Wanted him to teach me how to make the rhythm flow, but he was all about the distortion and the heavy gain. Ignoring Brian Setzer, driving me insane. I just wanted to jam to the vintage 50 sound, but he was playing metal riffs, shaking up the ground. 2 different worlds, the pompadour and the long hair, a musical division hanging heavy in the air. 10 years of distance, walking on a different street. Never thought our musical preferences would ever meet. I packed away the dream of playing in a band, just a rockabilly fan, walking in the N.I.S.H.I.O land. Fast forward to the present, a decade down the line, Satoshi hits me up acting like everything is fine. He says he's practicing a brand new kind of cut, learning how to play the classic straight cat strut. I couldn't believe my ears, the metalhead is flipping the script, changing up the genre that he previously skipped. Then he dropped the question, taking me by surprise, looking at me directly right into my eyes. I need you on the upright bass, pulling on the string, asking me to join him and do the rockabilly thing. The irony is heavy, hitting like a ton of bricks. The metal idiot learning the rockabilly trick. I love the stray cats, my dedication is complete. Saw Brian Setzer alive, standing on my own 2 feet. Got the official t-shirt, wearing it with pride, keeping the rockabilly spirit permanently inside. So now I'm standing here holding the giant wooden bass, looking at Satoshi with a smile upon my face. I'm happy that we're doing this, making up the groove, finally getting together, finally making a move. But there's a bittersweet shadow lingering in my head, thinking about the words that should have been said. If you had gotten into this a decade ago, we could have been legends, putting on a massive show. 10 years of waiting for you to understand the vibe, then leave the heavy metal and join the retro tribe. It's better late than never. We're stepping on the stage, a 10-year delay turned into a brand new page. Straight cat strut echoing in the N.I.S.H.I.O night. The upright bass and the guitar shining in the light. A decade too late, but the rhythm is intact. The metalhead and the rockabilly finally making a pact. Yo, the only populated island sitting in the bay, Choco Island paradise, taking all the stress away. We ain't got no convenience store, no local mart, but the warmth of the people heals the broken heart. You gotta walk on your feet, no cars on the street, but the slow steady pace is a rhythm in the beat. Modern art installations spreading through the town, every corner you turn, the beauty coming down. The safest sanctuary in the N.I.S.H.I.O bound. The ultimate peace is the only thing I found. It's a different type of world, a different type of view. The Saco Island magic catching up to me and you. It takes 30 minutes on a boat to reach the shore, leaving the mainland, opening the heavy door. Yeah, it takes a little time, but honestly it's fine, separated from the city, crossing over the line. We used to catch the fish pulling heavy from the sea, but now the angler's coming down, crowded as can be. The fishes ain't biting like they did in the past, but sitting by the water making every second last. Even if I don't catch a single little thing, I just listen to the wind and the song the ocean sing. A quiet afternoon looking at the ocean blue, finding out a couple things that I never really knew. But nature ain't always just a peaceful little trip. Sometimes the Mother Earth got a totally different grip. Let me tell you about the time when the typhoon hit, trying to get back home, dealing with the crazy fit. The boat was racking heavy, jumping up and down. I thought I was gonna die, sinking to the ground. The waves crashing hard, the terror in the ride, but surviving through the storm fills me up with pride. Yeah, even when it's dangerous, I still love the place. The only spot in N.I.S.H.I.O with a gentle pace. The time flows slow, the second hometown. Whenever I'm exhausted, cycle never lets me down. No traffic jam, no exhaust in the air, just a comfortable silence sitting everywhere. I leave all the problems and the struggles on the dock, escaping from the pressure of the ticking of the clock. The beauty of the island is the things we leave behind, the ultimate connection to a peaceful state of mind. The paradise of art and the people living slow, the absolute treasure of the city N.I.S.H.I.O. Walking on the dirt, breathing in the ocean breeze, looking at the sky, listening to the quiet trees. A 30-minute journey from the mainland stress, N.I.S.H.I.O Island paradise, the ultimate blast. A 30-minute journey from the mainland stress, looking at the sky, listening to the quiet trees. A 30-minute journey from the mainland stress, N.I.S.H.I.O Island paradise, the ultimate blast. Looking at the sky, listening to the quiet trees. A 30-minute journey from the mainland stress, N.I.S.H.I.O Island paradise. Yo, we got totally bored of the street golf phase. Needed a brand new game to set the hood ablaze. I remember the moment when I was swinging the iron. My sweaty hands slipped with the heart of a lion. A golf club flew out, flying up in the air, a dangerous projectile, but we didn't care, so we changed up the rules. A simple design, throw the actual club past the boundary line. The one who throws it the furthest takes the crown. We headed to the schoolyard in the N.I.S.H.I.O town. I stepped to the plate, launched it over the sand, halfway across the field, feeling like Superman. A crazy new sport without any grace, watching the heavy metal fly through the space. My distance was set, waiting to be beat. Then N.I.S.H.I.O stepped up on his 2 feet. He grabbed the club tight, spinning around like a top, released the metal heavy, refusing to stop. It launched like a missile, passing my mark, flying over the fences, leaving the park and crossed the boundary line, completely out of the zone. Crashed into a neighbor's house, hitting the stone, dropped in their yard. A massive mistake, the kind of property damage that the hood boys make. It was so annoying, we had to leave the school gate, walking around the block accepting our fate, searching for the iron in the strangest place, walking to the property with a serious fate. We found a target resting on the concrete floor, right next to the wall of the neighbor's door, hoping that the owner wouldn't come outside. N.I.S.H.I.O walked up, swallowing his pride. He grabbed the golf club, holding it tight. I thought we were leaving, fading out of sight, but he swung the iron back with a lunatic look, a chapter ripped out of a crazy man's book. He smacked the house wall, a heavy metal crack, taking out his anger, launching an attack, a solid bang, hitting on the innocent wood. The most irrational logic in the N.I.S.H.I.O hood. He looked at the building with a villainous stare, breathing in the heavy and rebellious air. Said if this stupid house wasn't standing right here, my club would have flown further, making it clear. Blaming the architecture for blocking his flow, the craziest mindset in N.I.S.H.I.O. Street golf is dead, the club throwing games. N.I.S.H.I.O hit in the house, I met in the fame.
Lost in the night, caught in a pour between wrong and right.
Yo, we didn't have the cash to buy the plastic camo. Living in the broke days, wearing imaginary camo. Couldn't afford the BBs to load the heavy guns, so we had to scavenge, searching under the sun. Headed to Kafuni Shrine, deep inside the wood. The designated hunting ground, sitting in the hood. Flipping over fallen leaves, digging in the dirt. Looking for the little spheres, keeping on alert. Bugs crawling in the mud. Nature all around, searching for the ammunition. Buried in the ground, me and Nori Kun. Splitting up the sacred zone, hustling for the plastic bullets, walking all alone. The survival of the fittest, scraping for the peace. Looking for the BBs hidden underneath the trees. Then I saw a heavy glimmer, shining in the back. A rare metallic bullet, sitting in the trap. I picked up the N.I.S.H.I.O in absolute delight. A legendary ammunition ready for the fight. This is super rare, a treasure from the shrine. Gotta show it to my boys, stepping out the line. I ran across the forest, looking for my friend to celebrate the ultimate discovery trend. But when I finally found him, sitting in the green, he was totally frozen. Looking at a magazine, sitting in the Caesar style, kneeling on his knee, ignoring the surroundings, ignoring even me. I called out his name, but he didn't make a sound. Staring at the pages laying on a holy ground.
Completely dead silence in the middle of the shrine. No recon connected to a different state of mind. I walked up a little closer, trying to comprehend what kind of literature captured my little friend.
It was a dirty magazine, completely washed away, soaked in the heavy rain, baked under the ray. Rusty and completely dry, stiffing like the board. A piece of the adult world that he secretly adored. The hardcore pornographic vision on the page. Way too early for a kid sitting in our age. I was way too innocent, couldn't even look. I turned my face away from the devastated book. But Nori Kun was paralyzed, staring at the fires. A terrifying hunger burned right inside his eyes. He wasn't just observing, looking at the meat. He was practically devoured, trying to consume and eat.
The iron BB bullet resting in my open hand while Nori Kun explores the forbidden wonderland. Kafuni Shrine memories, the hustle and the shot. A crusty magazine, surviving on the local block. Forbidden wonderland, Kafuni Shrine memories, the hustle and the shot, a crusty magazine, surviving on the local block.